Hello, welcome back to the course. In this video, we are going to create the repository, the JPA repository, and we are going to perform the database operation. Let's begin. So let's go to the project structure, and inside the source main Java, I'm going to create a new package, which is the repository, just like how we have created the service package and the controller package. Okay, so now we have created a new package, which is the repository package. Inside this, I'm going to create a new interface. This is the employee repository, and this is going to extend the interface, which is the JPA repository. So JPA repository. So we also have one more repository, which is the CRUD repository. You can use that repository as well. Click finish. Okay, so the JPA repository will provide the database methods like create, read, update and delete. You can use those methods to perform the database operations. We're going to look at those methods in just a bit. So before that, we have to specify the entity name. We have to tell what is the entity name that we are going to perform the database operation. So in our case, the entity class is employee, and we need to specify the data type of the primary key. So in this case, it's long. So if you look at the employee class, and we have marked this ID field as the primary key field, and the data type of this field is long, and we need to provide that data type of the field, which is long. Let's import the employee, and we need to mark this interface as the @repository annotation. Okay, now we have created the repository. All we need to do is we have to auto wire this repository inside our service class. Let's open the service class. And first of all, I'm going to get rid of these hard-coded values. We don't need that now because we are going to fetch the values from the database. First, we need to auto wire the repository. So employee repository, let's add the auto wire annotation. Inside this get employees method, we are going to make use of this employee repository. So e-repository, and if you just put a dot, you will see all the methods available inside the employee repository. So if you scroll down, you will see a method which is save, and this is going to take the employee object. So let's use this. And okay, I'm sorry, we are not going to perform the create operation. Instead, we are going to fetching the database records. So for that, we need to use the other method, which is, let's actually find that method, and you can see find all. This will return the list of employee. So let's use this method, and this is going to return the list of employees. So let's return this. So let's save this. So now we have called the method return. We have created the method get employees, and inside this we are going to return the repository method, which is find all. So let's actually save the repository as well. Okay, so now all we need to do is inside our controller, we are calling the service method. The service layer will call the repository method, which is find all. All we need to do is we need to test our work. So let's go to the Postman, and all we need to do is just click on this send button. We should get the response, but for some reason we are not getting the response. let's actually go to the console and see what do we get. We are getting some exception. Let me expand this so that we can see the error. JPA repository class not found exception. Employee controller unsatisfied. Okay, let's actually stop this and restart the application and we'll see. I'm going to restart the application. Alright, the application is started without any errors. Let's go to the Postman and click on this send. We should get the 2 records, but unfortunately we are getting some error, which is could not extract the results at SQL nested exception. This is so weird. Okay, unknown column, fine. Let's go ahead and see what is there inside our employee class. So inside this we have this location, but in our database we do not have the location. Let's go ahead and add the location. Fine, location and varchar and 255 not null. Okay, let's actually add the location as well. India and Australia. Okay, so now I will just go ahead and drop this table. Now let's select this and click on this. First of all, let me clear the console. I can also see the logs or the console messages. Just click on this execute icon. It should execute, but again there is some problem because we haven't specified the location. I am doing a lot of mistakes. That's completely fine. It will happen. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and insert these 2 records. Okay, the 2 records has been inserted to the database. Let's refresh this and we should see the 2 records inside the database: ID, age, name, email, department and location. So now inside our entity class we have mapped the location column as well. Okay, so this time it should work. Let's go ahead and test our work. Let's click on this send. We should get the 2 records, which is Bhushan and Bharat. Alright, finally we have fetched the records from the database, and I have did some mistakes in the while developing. That's completely fine. The first mistake that I have done is I forgot to add the location column inside the database, so I have added that. So I have added the location, and also while inserting I forgot to add the location as well. Again I have modified that and I have added the location as well, and I have rerun the queries again, and now we are in the clean slate, and again I have tested the application. It works fine. Alright, so now we have created the very first REST endpoint that is connecting to the database, and it is fetching the records from the database. In the next video we are going to perform the other database operations like creating the record and fetching the single record based on the ID, and also we are going to perform the delete operation and other database operations. I will see you in the next video.